Okay, let me go over an example on how to graph a Venn diagram and add all the entries. I picked number 6 from section 2.5, and we have an amusement park. We are given all the information and we have 5 different questions to answer. So the first thing when I have a question like this, I know I have now, as you see, I have a hotel on site, I have a water slides, and I have a wave pool. So I'm looking at 3 circles in my Venn diagram. So the first thing you need to do is go ahead and plot 3 circles, one for the hotel site, one for the water slides, and one for the wave pool. As you see, this is where the 3 circles intersect, and this is the U for the universe, which would be all the include all the members in this case. Okay, so let's start. We're going to start by adding the entry in the middle here. If you look at the exercise, you will see that we were given that 19 had water slides and wave pool, 7 had all 3 features. So we're gonna like the 7 should go in the middle here. So here I'll have a 7. Let's go ahead and add the 7 here. So my 7 is going to be here, which covers the 3 options: hotel on site, water slide, and wave pool. Then we move upward. We have 19 that has water slide and wave pool. So water slide and wave pool 19. Let's check our water slide and wave pool 19. So this whole area here should be 19. We already lost 7. So what is 19 minus 7? 19 minus 7 should be 12. Okay, so 19 minus 7 should be 12. Now let's move on with the exercise. Let's go to the next one. We have 10 had hotel, site, and a wave pool. Hotel on site and wave pool. So hotel on site and wave pool. So this is 10. The whole thing is 10. We already lost 7, so we will be left with 3. Now we have to look at the next one. The next one is 13 had hotel, site, and water slide. So we have hotel, site, and water slide. The sum of all this is 13, and 13 minus 7 is 6. Now we're going to start looking to fill up all the left over here. Let's go back. And now we have 38 had a wave pool. 38 total had wave pool. So let's look at the wave pool. All the circle here is 38. If you subtract 38 minus 12 minus 7 minus 3, you will end up with 16. Okay? So this would be 16. And if you add again 13 plus 6, 19 plus 7, 26. 26 plus 12 is 38. So the total is 38. Okay, let's move on. The next one is 55 had water slides. So let's look at water slides. This is water slide. It's 55, the whole thing. If you deduct 55 minus 6 minus 7 and minus 12, you'll end up with 30. So 30 will be here. Let's look for the hotel on site now. If you look for the hotel on site, it's got 24. So looking at this, we're going to go back here, and this whole thing is 24. If you deduct 24 minus 6 minus 7 and minus 3, you will get 8. So we still have one more entry, the outside here. Outside here, you know that we are given that the total survey was on 85 amusement parks. We have 85 as total. If we go back to the graph and add all these options, you know, if you add all these, you get 82. But we had 85 amusement, only 82 have these options. So if you subtract 85 minus 82, so here 85 minus 82, you end up with 3. And this 3 will be sitting outside. Okay, so we can also, let's just write 3 here. So we can remove everything, and the other option here would be, the only option would be 3 with no amusements at all, or no, let's see, no water slides, no hotels, or no wave pool. Out of these 85 amusement, we have 3 that has none. Okay, so let's look at part A. Only water slides. The question is only water slide. If you look at the Venn diagram, this is the water slide over here. but the one with only water slide is the 30, because this one has the hotel and water slide. This one has the 3 options, this one has the 2 options. So for A, we're going to say it's 30. So let's say part A, the answer is 30. Let's look at part B now, only water slides. Part B, exactly one of these features. So looking back at the Venn diagram, this is one feature, this is one feature, and this is one feature. So for part B, I'm going to add 30 plus 8 plus 16. The sum of 30 plus 8 plus 16 is 54. So part B is going to be 54. Let's look at part C now. Part C, we're going to look at least one of these features. By definition, at least means 1 and above. So we're going to have the 1 option added to the 2 option added to the 3 option. So in other words, we're going to add all these terms inside the circles except for the 3. And we already know that this is going to be 82. If you add 30 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 plus 12 plus 3 plus 16, the answer should be 82. And again, this is at least one option. Let's go to number D, exactly 2 of these features. So exactly 2 is part D. As you know, this option here has exactly 2. It's a water slide and wave pool. This option here, exactly 2, is got the wave pool and the hotel on side. And this option here is also hotel on side and water slide. So let's add 6 plus 12 plus 3, and 6 plus 12 plus 3 is 21. So part D should be 21. Finally, part E, let's look at the question on part E. On part E, none of these features. So we're going to look at which one of these amusement that has no features at all. This is the one here, 3. As you remember, we did this 3 as none of the features, so we came out from 85 it was 85 minus 82, and that's 3. So that's it. That would be the answer for the whole problem. Good luck. Okay, let's go over constructing a truth table for the following compound statement: P and Q between parentheses and not R. The best way to start this truth table, since we have P, Q, and R, which means we have 3 statements, then the number of rows should be 2 to the power 3. So that 3 comes from the number of statements, P, Q, and R. So we are supposed to have 8 rows. And to make 8 rows, we start with P as true, 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 false, 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 false. Then with Q, we do true, true, false, false, true, true, false, false. And then R, it would be true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false. So since we already done with the PQR, we start looking at the compound statement. I notice I have a not R, so let me take care of that. Not R would be exactly the opposite of R. So here I have a false, I have true, false, true, false, true, false, and true. Then I look at the parentheses, I have P and Q. As you know, the AND is very strict. Only when it's true and true, I have true. So for P and Q, I'm looking at P and Q. Only when it's true and true, I have true. So true and true, true. True and false is false. True and false is false. False and true is false. False and true is false. False and false is false, and false is false. The next thing I'm done with P and Q, I'm done with not R, so let's do the AND between them. So I'm going to look at these 2 columns and do an AND between them. Again, the AND is very strict. Only true and true is true. So false and true is false. True and true is true. False and false is false. True and false is false. False and false is false. True and false is false. And false is false. True and false is false. And so this would be the end result. The last column here with respect to my table would be the end result for this truth table. Okay, let's look at another not P conditional statement. Not P, then not Q. Again, since these are two statements, then the number of rows would be 2 to the power 2, where 2 here stands for the number of statements. So it could be 4. And to get 4, I'm going to try true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. Then negation of P, I'm going to write exactly the opposite of this column, which would be false, false, true, true. Same for not Q. I'm going to write exactly the opposite of this column, which would be false, true, false, true. Finally, to do the conditional. Again, the conditional only has a false statement when I have true then false. So only conditional is false when I have true then false. So in this case, false then false is true. False then true is true. True then false is false. And true then true is true. And this would be my final end result. Hope that helped. Good luck.